with the weather, and again, I focus on the weather a lot because I feel mathematically, rationally, if all the data is examined, the greatest threat to each and every one of us, short of nuclear cataclysm, which we have happening now as well, is climate engineering, because you can't escape it. You can't walk out your door and take a breath without inhaling what the climate engineers are spraying. So yes, we face a lot of threats, but nothing can match that threat that's systematically decimating the entire web of life. How long can you hold your breath? So yes, the climate engineers continue to wreak havoc around the globe. The weather whiplash will continue as the U.S. and around the globe, the climate engineering programs are ramped up to ever larger levels. We're going to see radical temperature swings that will continue. These radically warm temperatures to a very short, brief, intense cool-off as they chemically ice nucleate material going further into winter. I'll talk about that more later as well. And we see the really immense amount of anthropogenic damage to the planet. A lot of people I know don't want to believe that. A lot of people want to believe that it's okay to loot, plunder, and pillage the planet forever and nothing will ever go wrong. That's not reality. Simply not reality. And the greatest form of damage, the greatest single form, the most glaring red flag of human assault against the planet ever launched, mathematically, is climate engineering, if we look at all the angles of decimations caused by that.
The equation, mathematically, David Keith, again, the world's most recognized geoengineer, stating a goal of 20 million tons annually. That would equate to perhaps 600 to 800 tankers, military tankers, dispersing 60 to 70 tons per day, 24/7, 365 days a year. Now, we know we have a different equation than that because we have commercial aircraft involved as well. We're not implicating commercial pilots, not implicating commercial personnel. These systems are automated, but we know that their planes are being used because, again, we have photographs of the nozzles mounted on the pylons aimed into the engine exhaust, and we have flight tracker from the ground. We can monitor these planes. We have them on film, spraying, turning on and off, so they're being used also. So we're talking about an unimaginable amount of materials, George. This is a climate engineering Manhattan project.
The tic-tac-toe patterns that we see in the sky, what are they?
Many people see the X's and other grid-type patterns, and we can speculate on some of that, but it appears, at least in the case of some of the X's that appear, that may be a way for them to more easily track the movement of air currents from satellite imagery. So, again, we can speculate about that, but the fact that these are not condensation trails, they're particulate trails, it's indisputable if we look at all the data, testing, film footage, photographs of nozzles, patents, government documents, etc., etc. This is absolutely going on.
Who's paying for this? The taxpayer?
No. I think if we know about the financial system, George, we know that the central bankers can and do print whatever they want. So when the Pentagon is missing officially $8.5 trillion since the late 90s.
They can't find it.
How do you lose that much?
Yeah, really.
So the bottom line is, so long as we have the petrodollar, the dollar is the global reserve currency, which is why I think we can safely say that Saudi Arabia was not on the list of travel bans, because if they stopped using the petrodollar, that would be the end of the road for the empire. So we have a very complex scenario. But the central bankers, the petrodollar, the dollar being the global reserve currency, that's what's allowed the U.S. empire to expand to the level it has. And this is something people need to understand and realize, that the 100 or 700 and something bases abroad that in the 150 plus countries, this is not about freedom and democracy. It's about resources.
Dane, there's a blizzard warning in Hawaii. What the heck is happening?
Well, at the same time, though, we have staggeringly warm temperatures at both poles. Let's plug that into the equation.
Yeah.
They can chemically nucleate snow over the pyramids, over Hawaii, in Dubai, anywhere to make the headlines they want. But what you don't see, George, is the last two Christmases in a row, at Christmas Day, we had 40 degrees and rain at the North Pole. Right now, we have record warm temperatures, North and South Pole. We just had all-time record high set in Antarctica yesterday of nearly 70 degrees, 65 degrees in Antarctica. We don't hear about that. That's about 80 degrees above normal. 80. degrees above normal. So I encourage people to simply, again, not believe me, look at the bigger picture, look past the spun-baited headlines that are designed to confuse them and divide them as to the true state of the climate. That's what climate engineering is for. That's one of the primary objectives.
Let's take some calls, as promised. Let's go east of the Rockies in Georgia. Gary is with us on Coast to Coast. Gary, welcome to the program. Go ahead, sir.